It's Friday, October 2nd, 2015, and let's talk about what happened this week over at xdadevelopers.com. The biggest news of the week, of course, was Nexus Day. Google held a press event where they unveiled two new Nexus phones, the 5X starting at $379 and the 6P starting at $499. For more info on all the specs and everything on that, do make sure to check out the Portal article. But apparently the camera quality in these is going to be pretty amazing. It's coming in just after the Samsung Galaxy S6 Edge Plus in DxOMark's quality test. There's a lot of information in the Portal post, and the Nexus team also did an AMA over on Reddit, so there's another article compiling some of the key questions and answers from that as well. Google also unveiled the Pixel C, a 10.2-inch tablet with an interesting magnetically attached keyboard option. That one's not available quite yet, but I think it's going to be available for about $499 for just the tablet when it releases, and it should have the NVIDIA Tegra X1 chip in it, which is awesome. Speaking of that tablet though, a new forum for the Pixel C has been added to XDA in case you're curious. LG made some interesting announcements this week as well, including a new phone, the V10, which comes with two front-facing cameras and two displays. You've got the main display and then a tiny display above it with some quick launch apps on it, some extra camera controls, and some other sort of app contextual things. And then you can use either one or both of the front-facing 5-megapixel cameras to get a normal shot or a wider angle shot that the phone will actually stitch together. I saw a video out there somewhere about the V10 and it looks like an absolutely amazing device. And of course, new forums are available for the V10 over on XDA. LG also announced an updated LG Watch Urbane, and it's going to be the first Android Wear device to come with cellular connectivity built in. And actually, going back to the DxOMark thing we were talking about earlier, their whole scale has kind of been tipped over on its side this week. In addition to the Nexus 6P pushing the LG G4 down a spot, the Sony Xperia Z5 was reviewed, and it found itself at the top of the list, pushing everybody else down. So if you can find a way to get your hands on any of the Xperia Z5 devices, since I think they all have the same camera hardware built into them, it might be worth a shot. I've never actually gotten hands-on with a Sony device for more than 2 to 3 minutes at a time at a conference, so I'd love the opportunity to take a look at the Z5 if it's ever available here in the States. BlackBerry finally came out this week and confirmed their plans for an Android device, which they're calling the Priv. There's a video out there somewhere showing the BlackBerry CEO actually using the device and having a bit of a hard time with it, which you may want to search for and watch if you need a little bit of a giggle. Either way though, the Priv does look like a very interesting device. It comes with a slide-out keyboard, and I know a lot of people have been demanding that for a while now. NVIDIA officially launched their Grid gaming platform this week, which they're now calling GeForce Now. Not sure I'm a huge fan of that name, but either way, it's going to be available for $7.99 a month, and it's going to stream games at up to 1080p resolution with 60 frames per second. And there are currently about 60 games available for it, but in the time that I spent with it when it was called Grid, I was actually really impressed with how well it worked. HTC made an announcement on Twitter this week showing that 12 of their devices are going to be receiving Android Marshmallow, including the M8 and the M9 that should be receiving it before the end of 2015. Motorola rolled out the kernel source code for the Moto X Play to their GitHub, so if you'd like to play around with it, head on over there. And in a bit of a shocking turn of events that frankly probably should have been the start of this video, Chainfire announced this week that he's turning over control of SuperSU to a new company, Coding Code Mobile Technology LLC. Don't panic, he is going to be sticking around to help out for the next 2 years, but this will hopefully give Chainfire a bit of a much needed break and the opportunity to move on to new and exciting things. So I for one wish him the best of luck. Yet another stage fright vulnerability has been uncovered by Xperia, affecting devices running up to Android 5.1.1. This time it has to do with the way Android reads metadata from MP3 and MP4 files, meaning it's not just an issue that affects MMS, but potentially the web browser or any other way that you would put those files on your device. Google's supposed to start rolling out patches for this starting on October 5th, so just be careful until then. XDA member Naftha put out a guide showing you how to flash Ubuntu Touch onto the Meizu MX4, so if you're curious about it, that's now an option. And XDA member CN Victor posted an unofficial build of CM 12.1 for the MX4 if you're looking for something else to do with it. Be aware though that that build originally came from a Chinese forum, not from XDA, so just be cautious. XDA forum moderator Heisenberg put out a guide showing you the steps to unlock, root, and flash the Nexus 6P. Pretty standard fare, but if you're new to Nexus devices, I'm sure it'll be helpful. XDA senior member AJSMSG78 put out a guide showing you how to unlock and root the Huawei MediaPad X2, but do keep in mind you're gonna have to reach out to Huawei to get an unlock code for it first. Also this week, forums for the HTC Butterfly 3 were created, and 2 other videos were posted to XDA TV. Rairo Zizo showed us how to enable 1080p 60 frames per second video recording on the LG G4, and then the second episode of the XDA/Android podcast went up. But you know what? That's going to be about all from me for today. You can find the links to all the stories that I talked about down in the video description as usual, as well as the links to my YouTube channels. Make sure that you stay tuned for more exciting content coming out soon. Also give us a thumbs up down below the video if you like this video, and subscribe to receive all of our videos as soon as they become available. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.